To call Willie Nelson's life a roller coaster would be the understatement of the century. It's been more than 60 years since his first album. His career span is almost as long as Toby Keith and Garth Brooks combined. But his net worth is only $25 million right now, as compared to the combined net worth of more than $800 million for Keith and Brooks. I know Willie may not have understood business and money as well as the other two, but that amount is still staggeringly lower than what it should be. Some of you might already be aware of his troubles with IRS that led to this. But what's even more fascinating, as you would expect from Willie, is his four-step plan to bounce back from near bankruptcy, including the most unusual deal he struck with the IRS. So a quick backstory. In 1990, Nelson was hit with one of the largest individual federal income tax bills ever generated by the IRS at the time. The amount came up to a staggering $16.7 million, including interest and penalty. Nelson had been under the scanner for deductions made under some tax shelter investments for 6 years that were found to be illegal. This amount was negotiated to $6 million by Nelson's lawyer, Jay Goldberg. Just one small problem: Willie Nelson didn't have the money to pay off this debt. The feds raided his home in November 1990 and took everything except for Trigger, his favorite guitar. He had asked his daughter Lana to take the guitar in anticipation of the raid and famously said, "As long as I got my guitar, I'll be fine." And that's where his comeback story begins. Step 1, the most unusual compromise he struck with the IRS. He released the first and maybe only record album with a revenue-sharing arrangement with the IRS. The album, called the IRS Tapes, Who'll Buy My Memories, was written completely by Nelson and recorded with Nelson's trusty guitar, Trigger. The album could be purchased by dialing 800 IRS Tape and retailed for $19.95. Half of this went to the telemarketing company promoting the album. $160 covered album expenses. Another $249 went to Sony Records. Nelson received $6 from each sale. IRS got $3. $1 went into Nelson's lawsuit against Price Waterhouse. And most importantly, $2 went to pay the tax on album sales. An IRS spokesperson said about the deal at the time, "We try to work with taxpayer. If we have to come up with some creative payment plan, that's what we're going to do because it's in everyone's best interest." Unfortunately, the telemarketing strategy failed, so on to step 2. The album hit the stores and numbers picked up. Nelson had to sell 4 million copies to pay the debt, but unfortunately, that didn't happen. But IRS was still able to recover $3.6 million from the album. Still some way to go to $6 million, and Willie had plans for it. Nelson had sued Price Waterhouse for $45 million for their role in his financial woes and did reach an undisclosed settlement. One can assume the amount would have still been significant. Step 4. He started selling steak burritos and pizzas. Nelson realized that his fans still loved him and signed up multiple brand deals ranging from Taco Bell to Pizza Hut. All these efforts helped him become debt-free once again. He may not be a genius with his money, but he is definitely resourceful. With his backs against the wall, he kept fighting and is now back to a $25 million net worth. Not bad for a 90-year-old man who once almost lost it all. Nelson did a movie with Toby Keith, and the title track got one journalist to go after Keith's career. Click on the link on the left for more details.